Well, it's Friday, and maybe you got plans to go camping this weekend. Or maybe you're just thinking about renting a Teardrop and taking it out for the weekend and don't really know what to take with you. Well, that's what this video is going to be about. We're going to talk about all that and make it real simple for you. So, let's start with the easiest thing first, and that's the kitchen. Because the heart and soul of every Teardrop trailer, well, that's the galley. So, the basic items first, that's the easy one to explain. That's going to be your plates, your pots, your pans. I'm not going to guide you in the direction to go in that direction, but there's lots of camping gear out there that you should go through to figure out what works best for you. Just make sure it fits in your drawers. Different topic though, this is water. When you get into the Teardrop shopping category, you're going to find yourself looking at sink options, right? That seemed really important to us when we bought ours. And what we found was the idea of having a plumbed sink and a tank. Well, that's just maintenance. You got to winterize it all the time, keep it from freezing. Things go wrong. Maybe you're camping and the pump goes out. Maybe it just leaks while it's sitting over the winter and it leaks everywhere. Why bother? This came with ours via the recommendation of the manufacturer, and gravity fed is all you really ever need. We've never complained and it's never failed us. We actually don't even use this, to be honest. We just buy the little 2-gallon jugs in the grocery store for about $2 every trip. I think 2 gallons last our family about 2 days. So that's more than enough for us on most trips. And then we use just the dirty gray water from the faucet at every campsite because I don't trust the pipes. And so that's what we do most of our dishwashing and stuff with if we need to. But anyways, drinking water, we just buy it. So with that in mind, you do need, a wash basin. So get yourself a tub to wash dishes in. We actually have 2 because you want one clean, one dirty, right? And then don't forget, of course, the more important stuff. You're going to want spoons. You're going to want cooking spices. And can't forget the cups, because what are you going to drink out of when you get there anyways? And so that's the simple basics. Ziploc bags. Let's get to some more interesting stuff, right? You might have a cooler. You might have a fridge. It's irrelevant. Stove, though, however, there's a little bit to talk about here with what we got. Now, if you're having a custom-built trailer, you may want to consider where you're going to cook at. A lot of models, at least when we were shopping for ours, will have pull-out drawers, cooking, right here. Where's the grease going to go? It's going to go up on the top of the galley on your hatch, and you're going to have grease stains forever. We took that advice, never did it. It's been almost 8 years now. We have a clean hatch still, and we just cook outside. Find a stump, find a picnic table. It works great. Nothing beats cooking in the rain anyways. You're camping, right? Important note to have though, on our setup, they've got one of these, I always get the terminology wrong. Is this a 7-pound, 5-pound propane tank? I don't know propane terminology very well. It's a bigger one though, and that lasts us usually a year, to be honest. One trick that I did have with that though is from the manufacturer. This is really hard to get untangled, to be honest. Okay, we needed an adapter is my point. Because for the larger propane tanks, this is the fitting that you're going to have to go on there. And so to make it work on this end, we needed a 1-pound propane tank adapter. They do sell these somewhere. I don't remember where I bought it. It was a long time ago. But to make a hose work with that, you're going to have to find one of these. It would plug in right there once you get it. I've had a few problems with it. Every now and then it kind of leaks and some things flare up and flame, and it makes things interesting, but yeah, you're not using a big tank without one of those adapters. So keynote, if you're looking for a bigger tank and wish to mount it to the side of your Teardrop trailer, make sure you get one of those. You're going to want to probably bring some soap, shower soap's good to have. That's dishwashing soap, my fault. Hand soap, shampoos and body washes, whatever you want to do. If you're going to use the camp showers, you're going to want some of that. If you're dispersed camping, well, you're going to want to use the biodegradable stuff that's safe for rivers. Things to look into. We do have a roll of duct tape here. I don't know why. I'm sure I've used it once or twice. Probably just in case. I've got some, dry foods like oatmeal and canned foods in here because every now and then you're going to leave and forget things, and it's good to have extras in the camper already. So we've got mosquito coils and a can opener in here, wine opener as well, because those are the little things that you forget and ruin half your trip. Anything in here? Extra solo cups for some reason. Look, there's one of those extra cans of chili right there. And just in case I forget some food, I've got a whole giant thing of chili here. Disinfectant wipes. This is too much information. I'm aware of that, but I'm just trying to be helpful here. This is a giant mess. I haven't opened this cabinet in a long time. I find that cabinets are great when you're thinking about building something, and then once you have them, you never use them. Anyways, what else can we talk about that's useful? Oh, sorry, one more thing. Don't forget your paper towels. Okay, well that's the kitchen anyways. Real simple items. Hope I didn't make that too slow and drawn out. Anyways, let's get to some more fun stuff. This is what I'm actually trying to help you with here. Going to the inside. Okay, let's switch over to your bedding arrangement. So you're in camp, you're going to get ready to sleep for the night probably. Things that you're probably going to want to think about is where are your shoes going to go? So the first thing most of us might think is we're going to need a welcome mat. Not a bad idea, we have one. Honestly stopped using it a long time ago, but for the sake of the video, we'll put it out. Okay, there we are. Welcome mat's out. How's it going, everybody? Welcome. Everything's nice and cozy. So in a typical RV setup, this would be a big deal to have a welcome mat out. You don't track mud inside the camper, but you know what? You're not going to walk in your camper, are you? That's the point of a teardrop. You should just lay down in it, kind of. So I'll show you what I do instead. Time to go to bed for the night. Shoes go off. I just slide them right under here. Any rain that falls, well, it falls on the ground, not my shoes, right? Now granted, if you're really wanting to be careful about this, you might get yourself a Tupperware bin and put them in that, but as I wake up in the morning, I just grab my shoes and slide them on. So yeah, we've been doing it that way for years. I just slide our shoes underneath there. They never get wet really. But yeah, if you're living somewhere where there's lots of spiders, scorpions, snakes, whatever, you might want to put them in a Tupperware bin, something that will keep them safe. But yeah, you don't have to overthink it. I've heard some guys will hang their shoes in a bag out the door or something. But yeah, I don't overthink it. Just slide them underneath it. It's dry. Anyways, minor things to make sure you bring. If you're going to a campground, you're going to have shore power, right? And so don't forget the extension cord. Ain't gonna lie, our first trip out, we didn't have one. We had to go to Fred Meyer's and get one. You probably don't even have Fred Meyer's where you're from, but it's a store and they sell extension cords along with groceries and everything else. Anyways, you might be in a small town where these are hard to find, so make sure you got the extension cord. Otherwise you're running on battery power, and at that point you're gonna have to have a solar panel, which we also have, but in our case, just to show, not that it should be necessary, but we have a little plug on the outside right here. The extension cord goes in. That would go into the magical box that I don't have currently available. I'm in my driveway. That's where you plug in at. That gives you access to real power. And now that you're in camp, you've got your power, you've got everything set up and ready to go, you might want to add some comfort items. So once again, more basics, nothing really to explain here, but we're going to want some chairs. And if you're planning to have a campfire, you're probably going to want an axe, or in the least case, maybe a hatchet and a hammer to drive it in all the way. Nothing beats a good fire. You know, just for a fun side topic, there is the topic of blankets. I mean, realistically, you can use any blanket you want inside your teardrop. We've always used generally 25-degree sleeping bags. But if you're sleeping as a couple, you might want to consider this instead. So this is a good old duo sleeping blanket, or Dolomite One Duo by the North Face. There's different brands out there that have these, but the idea is that this is a 3-layered sleeping bag. I like this one specifically because it's a 15-degree sleeping bag. I think it's 0 maybe, and it's 15, 30, and 50. So you've got your different sleeping temperatures because it might be summer, it might be winter. So it gives you all those options. You can be sweating at night, or you can be cold. Take your choice, but I like this because of versatility. So this one's kind of a new addition. I just learned about these, but it's saved me a lot of headache. It's a pop-up trash can. Why do I want this? Well, in times past, my wife loves to hang a little trash bag right here. Leaves it outside every night, and once you know it, the raccoons always find it, and I wake up in the morning with trash everywhere. Not a real good idea. This should hopefully save a lot of that. It even zips closed. Anyways, I thought it was a great idea. Another important one to bring, just because this was a lesson I learned the hard way, you might want some extra fuses here. Doesn't matter what, but find out what kind of fuses you have, because it sucks getting to the middle of nowhere, find out that you've got a dead battery, have nothing to plug into, and spend the entire night charging your trailer via some jumper cables on the truck because you didn't bring a fuse. And so let's just say that my groceries got a little close to expiration that night. But anyways, bring some extra fuses. You never know when they're going to go out. Well, another topic that tends to come up a lot in the teardrop world, of course, is rain. Do you need an awning, front and rear? Well, we thought we did at first too. So we actually bought an awning that goes over the hatch, and kind of covers the galley in a rainstorm. Never opened it, never needed it. Same as this awning. I've used this awning room many times. I stopped using it years ago. It's just a lot of extra hassle. And like I said, we've already got one side of the trailer door open when it rains. Why not have two? Just to make sure we're on the same page here. In case you're new to the teardropping idea, when you sleep at night, you should leave a window open and these vents. And so these we have side vents, keeps the rain out, but you know, as you can see, that goes out. Oh, I forgot I don't have any power right now. And the fan would turn on if the power was on. And it's like all the moisture out. If you don't have that happening, you're gonna have condensation up on the roof, and then it drips on your head all night long, and that's gonna be an awful sleep. And so yes, and because of paranoia, my wife and I do leave a window open, because nothing worse than suffocating in a little coffin, right? Never been an issue, but leave a window open. So with that in mind, it's a good idea to not worry about the awning. I don't know. So yeah, anyways. And so yes, regarding rain in the galley, like I said, I can't say this is for every design. This came to my mind after I bought this camper. It was told to me about the old manufacturer that his hatch specifically was special. I looked at many galleys since then, and many people complain that when it rains, they will have leaks inside their galley and whatnot because of the hatch design. So I can't say that works specifically for everybody, but we've never needed an awning to cover all of this area. And cooking, we can just stand, right under here, and every rainstorm we've been through, it's dry. So just saying, you'll have to experiment yourself on that, but for our case, we don't need it. Probably the last good piece of advice I can give you. You may have a fancier model than we do, but this is a heater, a very cheap electric heater. I think I probably paid 15 bucks for it. And when I've got shore power plugged in, I can run this thing, and that camper is about as toasty as it gets in any kind of rainstorm or cold weather you're sitting through. And so more than ample enough. It is a small space. Remember, you don't need much to heat it. We do have a big buddy heater, and the idea of a propane powered, it's supposed to be safe indoors, right? I don't trust it in there. It seems like a giant fire hazard. But every now and then when it's cold and we don't have shore power in the middle of nowhere, we have had times when I've just kind of turned the heater on, and I've just put it right next to the door and let the radiant heat just kind of go inside. Hopefully the vapors are going up, but we're still alive. So, but yeah, I don't trust it enough to put it inside that tiny little space and let it get hot in there. But that's a good workaround. So instead of buying a $2,000 Propex heater, I think is what they are, that's these propane heaters for campers. Just get a little ceramic heater like that. I think it's ceramic. I'm not a little heater expert, but yeah, that's all it takes. Anyways, happy trails. Enjoy your camping trip.